life shows us things. It's not an outlet. It doesn't feed into anything. It doesn't give water to anything. It only receives water. There are a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, that are takers. They're inlets, but they're dead. They're dead inside. They're not giving anything. Their lives are salty, tasteless life, non-contributing life. They're the walking, breathing dead. How many of you know people just take and don't give anything back? These are miserable people. They're miserable people to be around, these takers. The act of giving makes you more alive and able to sustain life. See, when you are going through life relentlessly, seeking out what is it you're supposed to give? What service are you supposed to give, that you're supposed to provide, that you're supposed to bring? That's very important. Service is the rent we pay for the space we take up on earth. So decide now, whatever you have, whatever this is that you have in you, that you're going to give, and you're going to give like you've never given before. Why? It gives your life to give. It brings out more in you. The more you give, the more you realize you can give. The more you share, the more you love, the more compassion you show. What a time when we have homeless people. The time when we have young people who have no sense of purpose and direction. At a time when people are feeling powerless with all the massive layoff and jobless people, and there's a mean spirit against people that are down on their luck. For people now decide that regardless of what's going on in my life right now, there's something I can give. Regardless of what's going on, that I showed up to do something, and I'm going to find a way to become of greater service to humanity and greater service to life. Now, what can you do, Les? When you have been telling yourself you can reach your goal, and you've been affirming, I am abundant, I am rich, I feel better than good and better than most, I am blessed and highly favored, I can make it, I'm a winner, and you losing every day. You reading all these prosperity books, you listening to all these tapes, and it ain't happening. You wrote your goals down. You've been concentrating on these goals. You've been going out there and you have no money in your pocket. You talking about, I'm a rich child of God. Your mind say, come on, give me a break. Who you joking? What do? When you've lost your spirit, you've lost your job, you lost everything. Life been devastated. How do you do it? Come on, be real, man. Come on, get a life. You can't do that. You can't come back from that. Come on. How do you do that? Here's something that Larry DeAngelo wrote. He said, life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself. Think about this goal you have. I want you to think about it hard, because here's what happened to that man that closed himself into the garage. He didn't believe this. This is some place that you can always retreat to and be in concert with yourself. See, when I started working on my goal, just starting 5 years ago, to go into a $210 billion industry, had no training in that industry, never did it, no exposure in that industry, wanting to become nationally known, not a celebrity, not some athlete or actor, no exposure to the market, but I decided here's something I wanted to do that gives my life value and meaning. I love talking to people. I love making people feel good and making them laugh and enjoying themselves. I started out, how do you stay in the race, Les, when you knocked on doors and you were turned around and you lost your money and lost your car, had no place to stay, sleeping at people's houses, on their floor, on their couch? How do you do that? How do you handle the times when you were borrowing money and couldn't pay it back? You felt humiliated. When people you love who didn't believe in you and told you you ain't nothing. How'd you fight that inner conversation? How do you keep on coming back again and again? You don't know what has happened to me when your life has been destroyed with drugs or alcohol, or you've lost your business or lost your job or lost your home and you've been completely devastated. How do you come back? How can you tell me that there's a possibility I could come back? Oh, let me tell you something. All I want you to think about, whatever you want to do, whatever goal you have, whatever dream you have, it's to reclaim your health. It's to have your own business, to have another job, to earn more money, to have a better life, to travel around the world, to help out children, to make the environment better. Whatever it is, here's what I want you to stand on, this one statement, on this benchmark. Just say to yourself, it's possible. See, if I'd said 5 years ago, I'm going to make 5 years from now $1 million in 1 year, and I hadn't made $10,000, my mind would say, that's impossible. Come on. So I think the reason that most people don't reach their goals, and many of the people that started out with me that gave up and stopped and they became frustrated, they said, I can do it. I'm not asking you to say I can do it. No, don't say that. No. I don't even want you to believe you can do it. No. That's not a requirement. All you need to do to get out in the arena of life is to say, it's possible. How many of you know people who moan and groan and complain about life all the time, all right? They might moan and groan about their job. I'm sick of this job. I'm sick of you. And they just moan and groan and complain all the time and never do anything about it. They haven't got to the point where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They just have enough energy to complain about it, and they consider that, in fact, they believe that that's equivalent to doing something about it, just complaining. No, that can't get you where you want to go. That cannot create your reality for you. The other thing that keeps most people from realizing their true greatness and their true potential, circumstances, their environment. There are many people who believe because of where they're born, because of the area where they are in life and where they find themselves, that's all they know. Given my circumstances, ladies and gentlemen, I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. See, I know something about you, even not knowing you, that you've got greatness within you. You have the ability to do things that you can't even begin to imagine. You have talents and skills in you that you haven't even begun to reach for yet. No one could have convinced me, given my circumstances, given my background, that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. I was born in Liberty City on a floor on 62nd Street, a twin brother and me. When we were 6 weeks of age, we were adopted. When I was in 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable mentally retarded, and put back from the 5th grade into the 4th grade and stayed in that category until I got out of high school. I have no college training, but here's what happened. I had an intervention in my life. A man who saw something in me at a time that I did not see something in myself. I never forget being in his class one day waiting on a friend of mine who was there to rehearse for a play. He did not show up, and he asked me to go up to the board and write something on the board. And I said, I can't do that, sir. He said, why not? I said, well, I'm in a special education class. He said, what do you mean? Go up to the board and write what I'm about to tell you. I said, I can't do that, sir. Why not? I'm educable mentally retarded. And he came from behind his desk. He said, don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And that changed my life. It was Oliver Wendell Holmes who said that once a person's mind is expanded with an idea or a concept, it can never be satisfied to going back to where it was. So some of you are going to experience a breakthrough. Some of you are going to go back and look at your dreams and brush them off. Some of you are going to begin to look at yourself and say, hey, look here, I know I have not done all that I can do. When Buster Douglas was fighting with Mike Tyson and the odd makers predicted he was a bum and he'd be knocked out in about 1 or 2 rounds, I think that after he made it to the 3rd round, he took some of Mike Tyson's best shots. He said, wait a minute. Hey, Mike, it's possible that maybe this next call might do. It's possible this next job interview might be the one. It's possible. In spite of 27 rejections, it's possible that this might be the one. It's possible. Just maybe I can do this. That's all. That puts you on the playing field. You ain't got to hype yourself and psych yourself out. What it does is just keep you moving in that direction. That's all I'm asking you. Believe that it's possible, that you can make it. I like what Charles Allen says. He said, when you say a situation, a person is hopeless, you're slamming the door in the face of God. You're slamming the door in the face of God. There's no guarantee that because somebody is now down on their luck, they can never come back. Who can guarantee that you can't make it? That you can't have your dream? Who can guarantee that you can't do what you want to do? No one can do that. No one can predict that. You can't even do that. You don't know what the possibilities are for your life. No. All we need to do is we look at our dreams as we get ready to hit the floor. I'm blessed and highly favored, and it's possible I can get my dream. You go after that dream too. Don't go casually. You got to go out there like you want that dream. Don't go out here like these people. See, when you feel like you're blessed, you're ready to get into a good fight for this dream. You're ready to get down for this dream. You want your dream? Let me say, I want this dream if it's convenient, if I don't have any hassle, if I don't have to flip through any hoops, if everything's all together, if I don't have any opposition, if nobody works against me, if nobody tells me no, if I don't run out of money, if everybody loans me what I want and give me what I want and agree with me and support me, I'd like to have that dream. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not that kind of party. It's a party getting what you want, this dream you have. Say it's possible, and don't let nobody turn you around. Don't let circumstances turn you around. Don't let hard times turn you around. It's okay. Whatever you're experiencing, you know that this too shall pass, that you have the capacity and the ability to make it happen. You got a sense of entitlement. I deserve this, and whatever I have to do in order to make it happen, I'm willing to step up and to face life and grab it in a collar and say, give it up, because it's mine. Most people are wimps, ladies and gentlemen. They're tentative and they don't believe that they deserve what they want anyhow, so they convince themselves, I'm not supposed to have it.
Whatever goal that you have in mind, I want that to be a goal that will challenge you, something that will make you stretch. It was Osborne who said, unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it, that you talk yourself out of it? Whatever it is, bring it back out there. How you're going to do it, that will come to you in due time. So you don't get in life what you want, ladies and gentlemen. You get in life what you are, not what you want. And see, the good news is that we can always become more by working to develop ourselves. So the first process of making this your decade, you've got to begin to take a look at your life and look at where are you right now? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What gives your life a sense of fulfillment, a sense of joy? What does a full, rich life means to you? What is it that you could love doing 7 days a week that'll bring a smile to your face? Think about that. In all the areas of your life, your professional life, your personal life, your family life, your spiritual life, what is it that you'd like to have? Once you begin to determine that, that takes you to the next step. And that is, once you decide what it is that you want, now you've got to decide that you deserve that. I deserve the best that life has to offer. I deserve to find my purpose in life. Find your purpose. Do you know by actively pursuing your purpose, it could perhaps extend your life? The number one killer in this country of all the diseases we have, heart disease, it's the number one killer. And if you ask most people, when is it that the majority of people have their first major heart attack? Some people will tell you as a result of obesity or smoking cigarettes or high cholesterol or high blood pressure. And all of those are contributing factors. However, the truth of the matter is that most people don't realize that the majority of people suffer their first major heart attack on Monday morning between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. People getting ready to go to jobs that they don't like, jobs that are making them sick. You see, when you're not pursuing your goal, you are literally committing spiritual suicide. Now, here's something else. You must be positive. See, a lot of people, when things don't happen when they want it to happen, they become negative and they turn out and start projecting a lot of negative energy. No, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to be positive. Because see, when you know within yourself things are going to work out for you, when you know within yourself that some way, somehow, you're going to make it, these are just some of the hoops you've got to flip through in order to get there. It's okay. Have a friend who went to get a job and the people didn't hire him. He was so negative. Well, they just don't have a job today. If you want to reach your goal and have a competitive edge, you've got to be hungry. I was doing work for a major corporation and they were having a major downsizing. It's just another terminology for major firings. The people that were working there, they approached them and said, listen, you are eligible for early retirement. We will give you a buyout package of $300,000. if you take it within this time frame. However, after this time frame, when we have the downsizing, you might be among the people cut and you will lose all of benefits that we're talking about right now. And the most you can get is 2 weeks severance pay. Ladies and gentlemen, only 50% of the people that were eligible took this. Let me tell you something. If I'd been there, I'd have gone to ask for your check. See, ladies and gentlemen, life is too short trying to play it safe. It's too short and unpredictable, being miserable. It's too short for that. Here's the thing. There's no safe position in life. Let me tell you why. It's a quiet secret that most people don't realize. You can't get out of life alive. Hello, you can't get out of life alive. So there's no safe position. So if you want to make this your decade, you've got to decide to be bold. So you got to be bold in life. You got to take life on. I remember I was at a major corporation. I had to give a presentation, and there were two guys sitting across from me, and the guy said to the other fellow, looking at the last two finalists, and that involved my firm and their firm, said, listen, looking at the credentials, this guy doesn't have any credentials. We have an advantage here. We've got 2 PhDs between us. I got up and I went in the bathroom and started talking to myself. I said, Les Brown, what do you care about their 2 PhDs? You have 6 children and a mama to take care of. And I went in that meeting, and first of all, I went in walking bold, looking good, feeling good, and smelling good. And I sat across that table, and we started negotiating, and I operated in a spirit of absolute certainty. I looked at them as if the only reason that they were born was to give me that contract. They survived 1 out of 9 million sperms to carry out this transaction, and I got the contract. So you've got to decide to be bold. Most people go through life trying to creep. No, no, no. Trying to be casual about it. No, no, no. You go through life being casual, you'll end up a casualty. No, you've got to be bold in life. You've got to take life on. When you have some goal out here that you're stretching for and reaching for that takes you out of your comfort zone, you'll find out some talents and abilities you have that you didn't know you had. I started speaking just to elementary school kids, because I knew they didn't know what I was talking about. And they gave me all kind of standing ovation. Then I graduated up to junior high school, and then to senior high school, and then to various community groups and church groups and civic associations, and then to colleges and to businesses. Now I'm traveling across the country and then traveling nationally and internationally. But I never would have discovered what I'm able to do right now if I wasn't willing to take a chance. And you've got to be willing to do that. You've got to believe in yourself.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. I've been saying for a long time, you have greatness in you. And someone asked me, why do you always say that and emphasize that every time you speak? Well, I'm going to share with you why I say that. I said because I know that based upon my own experience. When I think about where I came from, born in an abandoned building on a floor, I want you to see something that my friend Dr. Miles Monroe talked about. Rob the cemetery of your gifts. Had I not been willing to invest in myself, had I not been willing to change my relationships, had I not been willing to believe that I had greatness in me and was willing to experiment with this thing called life, to take a chance on me, I would have made the cemetery rich with Les Brown, because I had so much in me that I didn't even realize. That's how I know you've got a lot in you you don't even know. And for 14 years, I didn't do what I'm doing. For 14 years, I didn't believe that I could live the life that I have lived and I'm continuing to live. I don't want you to sleep tonight. I want to upset you. I want to disrupt your conversation with yourself, because you came here with something in you. You have a superpower. You have a story and you have a voice. We were raised in poverty. Now, I want you to really remember this. It's not where you start, it's where you're going. When you think about all the stuff that's going on now, the most powerful area that we have not, I talk about the value of knowing you have greatness in you, self-development, knowing the truth of you. Now, what you will notice is my superpower, which is my ability to communicate. I invested in myself, I got a coach, and I surrounded myself with the right people. Look where it can take you.
Somebody is waiting to hear your voice. There are people all over the world that's waiting to hear your voice. I don't know you, but here's what I know about you. That you have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. I want you to think about some major goals that you have in your life. A friend of mine told me a period in his life he was going across Europe on the train, and at different points, people would wake him up, the staff on the train, and ask him 3 questions. Who are you? Why are you here? And where are you going? And I think that life is always asking us that question. Who are you? How do you see yourself? How do you define yourself? And where are you going? Something that you want to do, something that you want to accomplish.
When scripture says, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you, that means something. I hear people saying that all the time, and they haven't done anything. They haven't been anywhere. They don't even live their lives from a place of power. They don't even know who they are. And they take their talents, their abilities, their skills, their superpower to the cemetery. And you know people like that, because they underestimated themselves, because of the kind of environment that we live in. That's why Richard Wright said, the impulse to dream has been slowly beaten out of me through the experiences of life. We've had some experiences that many of us don't even dream anymore. Somebody asked the question, when is it a man or a woman dies? When their dreams die. So you listen to these people speaking, these politicians. They're trained. They're all talking from the same playbook. They'll get in the media and they get caught red-handed and lie with a straight face like you are blind. Nothing happens until it's spoken. Warren Buffett said this, the most important investment you can make is in your ability to communicate. Not being able to communicate effectively is like being in a dark room with a woman. Nothing happens. And I realize I'm not for everybody, because the majority of people are not hungry. If you're serious, tired of playing around, knowing that there's no such thing as job security, want to live a life that's you, want to live a life that the future you will say, whoa, I'm so glad you made that decision. A life that gives you a sense of significance and purpose and power. You want that? People say, why do you laugh so much? Because I have joy. See, if you're doing something that's not you, and you under pressure and you don't like the job, 86% of people don't like their job. They go to these jobs they hate, and at the same time, they hope they don't get fired. It's like mixed emotion. This is for somebody who want to rob the cemetery of their gifts, of their story. This is for somebody who has a passion for helping children, helping kids, give people hope. This is for somebody that's ready to say, yes, this is for me. I don't want to convince you to do this. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Most people are not serious. Most people are not hungry. Most people have already settled. Tennessee Williams said that most people look in the mirror at some point in time in their lives and they know the eyes that are looking back at them are looking at a person that all they're ever going to be and all they're ever going to do, they've already done it. This is for people who said, I want more. This is for people that are serious. Road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it, because few there be that are serious. Few there be that are determined. Few there be that are hungry. Those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, right thinking, right words, right feelings, right people, right vision shall be filled. I repeat, you have something special. You have greatness in you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about taking charge of your life. This is a time that people are literally taking charge of their lives because they know that life, it does not have any warranty. You have no guarantees, and you have to take charge. What do you want to do with your life? People are rethinking their lives. What do you look like? What does your life look like? How do you want to do life after this? That now we have to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to find peace, to build stronger relationships, stronger family ties, to turn to each other rather than on each other, to stay focused on some goal, some skill that we can develop, something that we want to do, some impact we want to make with our lives, rather than just running scared. We're here to do a work, the greater work. You have something special. You got greatness in you, and you have to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to find out what is that greater work. What does that look like? And let me be about my Father's business. Let me be engaged in doing something. And this is what people want. The reason that many people who've been told, oh, you don't have to come in now. And then they said, okay, you can come on in now. It's safe. And there are people saying, no, they said, I want to do something that's me. And that's a good thing. Doing something that's you. It's unthinkable for some of you saying, I don't want to die a life doing something 40 hours a week or 60 hours a month. That's not me. I want to do something that resonates with me, with my heart, with the things that I know that I have within myself to do, but through procrastination, through fear, through being in a toxic, negative environment, through my not having confidence in myself. And I know about that. For 14 years, I didn't do what I'm doing. Because I didn't believe in me. I didn't have the confidence because I don't have a college education. I didn't think that I can compete with people with PhDs and MBAs. And being labeled educable mentally retarded and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failed again at the 8th grade at Booker T. Washington High School in Miami, Florida, where Michael Baptiste is from. I did not think that I had the ability to do what I'm doing. And so here's what I'm challenging you to do. Number one, get a larger vision of yourself. I want you to live from where you see yourself going. Did you hear what I said? Live from that place. See where you're going. See yourself being there and experiencing what that's like. He said, I'll give you all your eyes can see. You want to focus on where you are going. And yes, there are things going on around us. Yes, there are going to be other viruses, but don't allow the corrosion of a virus of lack of vision to take your life away. You want to hold a vision of where you're going and what you want out of life. Most people are just trying to get through life. You want to have a mindset of what you want to get out of life because you can, and because that's why we are here. The other thing is, you got to upgrade your skill set. That in order to live the kind of life that you envision for yourself, you got to ask yourself the question, what is it I have going for me? And in my case, I looked at myself and I had to ask, what is it you have going for you? What is it that people compliment you on? What is it that comes to you naturally? What is it that you could do it and it's no big deal, but you do it well? There are people around you that see some stuff and they have some value. Perhaps it's no big deal to you because it's you and you can monetize that. This is the time. This is an entrepreneur's dream. Why? Because you want to have the mindset of getting your piece of the pie. Write down, what's my piece of the pie? See, money has not left the planet. And some of that money that's out here, it's got your name on it. There's some products, there's some ideas, there's some inventions. There's some stuff in you that you can monetize. And you want to think about that. What is it that I got going for me? What is it I'm bringing to the table? That's what you want to do. What is it that you're known for, that you're good at? And something that you enjoy so much, you'll do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. We know that life has no guarantee. Life, it's uncertain. Life, it's unpredictable. Life, it's coming for us every day. It's saying, I ain't playing with you. It's going to take us out. One way or the other, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nobody's figured out how to get out of here alive. So you want to live life now. You don't want to die an unlived life. You want to have the kind of courage that Michael Baptiste has. Just get a one-way ticket somewhere and figure it out. Didn't even know how to speak the Thai language.
When you're working on a dream, at some point in time, a transition takes place. And the transition is what you are becoming in pursuit of the dream. Because even if you don't get the dream, you become such a strong and powerful person. It will so change your life, you can look at something else and say, well, I think I'll go do this then. Because you've now developed yourself in such confidence and such competence in how to deal in the arena of life that you can move into another area and not miss a beat. Once you begin to discover who you are, then you really realize how you have been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, including all the dimensions of your life. But you can only do that through the struggle of life. And most people avoid the struggle. Most people go through life avoiding pain. And when you go through life like that, something in you dies. Something in you that you never activate is lying dormant in there, that you never get a chance to call on because you have not challenged yourself. Somebody said, the land of familiarity belongs to the dead. That most people like to feel like they're a king in the area of their comfort zone. They only want to do those things that they know how to do well. Osborne said, unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. So if you want to begin to grow, you've got to put something out here that you can't reach easily, that has got to make you stretch, got to make you jump for it, got to make you get back a little bit and dig in so that you can take a leap for it. And maybe you jump up there and you miss it and you skin your knees and you come back again and you bust your lip next time. But you keep on, and through that process, you learn how to leap higher. You start challenging yourself to dig deeper, and then you discover some things about you that you don't know right now, some talents that you have in you that you didn't know that you can do.